All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to tonight's information session from Neotech Academy. And this is really our introduction for a lot of you who aren't really familiar with, who we are and what we do. So we're gonna give you some information tonight about the IT industry, what exactly it is that we do, and the boot camp specifically that we do offer. We've been doing this now for quite a while, and we have hundreds of students really around the world. Tonight's session is geared more towards our US audience. We are based in the US, and you'll be able to interact with our founders in just a few minutes, two of our founders. We also have someone tonight whose name is Sinem, who's going to be with us, who was in your situation. He was tuning into a presentation just like this, wondering, what are these guys all about? Are they legit? Is the IT industry for me? You'll be able to ask questions. It'll be like an interview format, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure you are as well. And that'll be coming up in just a little bit. But yes, guys, if you have any questions at any time during our presentation, feel free to just type them into the chat, and we will do everything we can to get you a very quick response to that. Okay? And we're excited to have you with us because really, and I hopefully you'll be able to see this. I don't want to sound dramatic, but it really is life changing. It truly is. I mean, it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter if you are, I always like to say, it doesn't matter if you're a valet, working at a restaurant or something, parking cars. It doesn't matter if you're an Uber driver. It doesn't matter if you're, doesn't matter what field you're in. I mean, you might be in education, you might be in healthcare. Seeing a lot of folks from those two professions, those two industries, those two sectors making a transition to IT. It doesn't really matter what it is that you are doing right now. I think you'll see this a little bit later how it really is life changing in the sense that you have flexibility with a career potentially in IT. You've got higher rates of pay than a lot of career paths that you can take. And that's right off the bat. So many career opportunities, it seems like, they want you to work there for 5 years, 10 years, 15 plus years before you finally start seeing a good amount of money. Now, granted, good amount of money, that means different things to different people. But how about getting close to six figures, if not six figures, almost off the bat? Not a guarantee, but I think you'll be able to see a little bit later that there is the possibility of that, the potential of that. The IT industry is going to be around for a long time, guys. Everything is, we live in a digital age. We've heard that for quite a while. And so we're going to talk about exactly what it is we do, how we can potentially help you take that next step to get paid what you're worth, to have the freedom that you need, to potentially work remotely. There are a lot of opportunities in remote work nowadays. But I just want to make sure we're clear that your background doesn't matter, your age doesn't matter. I get this question quite often. What about am I too old to do this? I've been in my field for years. I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s. Age doesn't matter. You might say, well, I've never been in IT. That doesn't matter either, because what the potential employers care about is, can you do the job? And that's what we're going to train you to do. So in our boot camp, and we'll tell you more about the boot camp in just a few minutes, is you'll be able to work on actual projects, and we'll help you out with your resume and all that good stuff. We'll help you potentially get your foot in the door with that first opportunity, that first job. So we don't leave any stone unturned in what it is that we do to help you get in to land a career in IT and get paid what you're worth. And it's very exciting, and I love seeing people get their lives changed, and we see that all the time here at the school. So age doesn't matter, background doesn't matter, education doesn't matter. Don't worry if all you have is a high school diploma. Don't worry if your degree is in something else. That's irrelevant too. Again, most of these companies don't even care about your educational background. Again, what they care most about is, can you do the job, which we're going to help train you to do tonight. So we're going to go through the tuition in a little bit. We have a money back guarantee with our tuition. We help you, again, land that first job, and we have a really big discount that we've never offered before. That's coming up a little bit later as well. So we'll get to all of that, guys, in just a little bit. So as I was alluding to earlier, we're in the digital age, the information age, and some of the fastest growing occupations are in IT. For the next generation, everything is going to be tech related. Jobs are available in all major cities. But like I was saying a moment ago, guys, if you are interested in something that's more remote, so you can spend that time with your family and do the things that you want to do, remote opportunities are still available. There are actually more remote opportunities in the IT industry than at any point in our history. And when you think back to the pandemic, when you think back to COVID, and it's hard to believe that's already been now, over 5 years since that all started. I think it taught us a couple of things, the whole pandemic, and maybe some of you will agree with me on this. That number one, it taught us that tomorrow's not a guarantee. And how many of you would agree with that, by the way, that tomorrow is not a guarantee? And secondly, that you've got to have a plan B. We can't always rely on the government or this company or that company. We've got to be able to have a skill set that can make us money regardless of what's going on. And here's what I mean by that. When the economy, when industries were shut down during COVID, if you recall, there were all these lockdowns, not all across the country, but in many parts of the country there were. A lot of people couldn't go to work. I mean, the business was shut down. In the IT industry, all it did was create even more remote opportunities because in this industry, there already were so many available. Now there were even more on top of that. So the IT industry actually thrived during COVID. So again, guys, doesn't matter what your language, if English is your second language, we always like to say you have to be able to communicate in English. Yes. Don't worry if you're like, you know what, my English is not really perfect. That's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you can communicate, you're fine. Don't worry about your background, your education, your age, any of that stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you wouldn't mind doing this for those of you who are in attendance, I'm always curious about this. Would you mind, as I go through this, would you mind typing into the chat what industry you're in now? Because I'm always curious about seeing like what are people doing right now, and now they're looking to maybe do a transition, make a transition into IT. And like I was mentioning earlier, we're seeing a lot of people in the education field, a lot of people in the healthcare field that are looking to make that switch. Not everybody, but I just noticed when I've asked that question in the past, a lot of people are typing that into the chat. Well, what exactly is a software tester? By the way, I'll read some of those in just a little bit that you're typing in right now. Software testing is a great way to, again, get your foot in the door in the IT industry. It's more of an entry level type position. Let's talk about what a software tester is. One of our founders, Elion, he'll come on here in just a little bit and he'll go into even more detail with you. But as I explain a little bit to you right now, let me ask you a very rhetorical question. How many of you have ever used an application, an app, like I don't know, Uber or Instagram or Facebook, or maybe you've got Amazon as an app on your phone? Everybody here has used those, okay? I don't even have to look at the comments. I already know the answer to that. My point being, if you've already used technology, you know what an app looks like that works. You try to use the application and it works properly. If you use the Amazon app, you're able to scroll and find what it is that you're looking for and place the order, and it arrives at your house, the next day or sometimes even the same day. If you're traveling, and like I do somewhat often, and you call an Uber, you get the Uber app, a car appears, so you know what a good, an app that works looks like. So that's what you bring to the table. Now, as a software tester, what would you actually be doing? Well, think about the terminology here, software testing. It sounds kind of self-explanatory, but in case you're kind of confused about this, companies will pay a good amount of money. I mean, check this out over here. High-paying job opportunities, 90,000 plus. And by the way, when we're done, I mean, don't do it now, but when we're done, take a look at some, sites that you normally go to look for jobs and see what they're offering in your local area. But software testers, here's how it works. They will have you test out the software, test out the application before it gets introduced to the general public. So you're going to act like the end user. the customer and you're going to try it out. You're going to make sure everything was done properly. You'll have a checklist. Don't worry, you'll know exactly what to check for. And you'll check for, is the color scheme correct? Is the font correct? It could be something as simple as that. It could also be something more complex as every time you try to use it, it crashes. Now, think about this. Why would a company want to hire people to test out the software before it becomes public? Well, if you were that company, would you want to introduce a product that doesn't work or that crashes every time somebody tries to use it? Or, the color scheme is all off. It's not the way that, these aren't the colors of your company. The developer did something wrong here. No, you want to know all this before it goes public, and that's where software testing comes into play. So a software tester's role is vital to a company's existence, really, because they don't want to introduce products that are going to fail or that were made incorrectly. Now, here's the good news. Here's the good news. You don't have to fix it. All you have to do is test it and see if everything was done correctly. That's the great news. So you test it out, you make sure everything was done correctly, go through your checklist that you'll be given. You'll then fill out the report to find any bugs, a bug report, and the developer will be the one who will actually fix the problem. Does that make sense? Let me look over here to the chat real quick. So that just from a again, I know it's an overused phrase, but from a 30,000 foot view, does that make a little bit of sense as far as what a software tester does? Pretty straightforward. You're testing out the software before the public gets to use it. And so you want to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. And the companies will pay very well for people to do that. By the way, just real quickly here, some of the current professions. So we got Deepa, who's a housewife. That's awesome. Hey, that's 200 jobs right there, you know, with all that you're responsible for. Hospitality, sports entertainment. We got a translator slash server, transit driver, private chauffeur, a student, doing masters in health administration, graphic designer. All right. And to answer your question, Frankie, we're going to help you out with that. So we're going to help you out with, training you and then helping you, get your foot in that door to land that first job. And as you'll see in just a little bit, we're actually going to be incentivized to help you land that first job. So I'll explain that. We'll explain that a little bit later. Okay. So here's what we've done. We created a boot camp. It's a career focused syllabus. So if you're not really focused on a career in IT, if that's not really your interest, then you're in the wrong place. And I always like to say, guys, this is all that we do here. We're not Neotech Academy, boot camp for IT slash bartending school, truck driving school, or something like that. This is all we do. We just train people in the IT industry. So if you want to go another career path, we're not going to be for you. But if you want a career in IT, we're the place to be. Extremely inexpensive, but yet at the same time, we're going to help you land that first job and get the training that you really need on actual projects, which we'll explain all that as we move along here, okay? But we created a boot camp where we're going to give you significant technical knowledge in programming, coding language, various other tools. And there are different career paths that you'll wind up choosing after graduation. It could be a software tester, like I just mentioned to you a moment ago. It could be a software development engineer and test, which is going to be more of an automated type of scenario. A test lead, quality analyst. Some of these you might not be familiar with right now, but we will make you familiar with them and we'll get you on the right track and make sure you know exactly what you do upon graduation. All right. So we created this career focused syllabus. It's a boot camp. So it's like learning. How can I put this? Let me phrase it this way. It's experiential training, experiential learning, which is not simply just having a PowerPoint presentation and that's all. It's everything's online. It's Zoom, but you can interact with the instructors. Everything is live. I don't know about you, but I have difficulty learning if somebody just tells me what to do, especially if it's more complex. You have to tell me, yes, but you also have to show me what it is that you're doing. And that's what we do here. So it's not just telling you what to do, we show you what to do, and then we take it a step further. We let you do it yourself, and we let you know if you're doing it correctly. And as far as I'm concerned, that's really how you learn. I mean, think about pilots, for example. A pilot, man, I have so much respect for pilots. I have friends who are pilots, and imagine getting into one of those big airliners. Getting into like a 757 or a 747 or an A350, whatever the case may be, and you have all of these gauges or electronic gauges, more so nowadays, right? All these lights are coming on. Imagine just being thrown in there right away without the training. You wouldn't know what to do, and I wouldn't want you to be my pilot. So the way to learn is you're shown what to do. All right. You're told what to do, you're shown what to do, and then you actually do it. And you've got the other pilot, the experienced pilot, right there with you along the way. And, but you're not going to be taken off. You're not going to be flying until the pilot knows that, you're ready for that next step. And that's the way we are here. So again, like I was saying at the outset, we don't leave any stone unturned. We want to make sure that you know what to do. You know how to do the job, and you can prove to us that you can do it. We'll then help you out with your CV, help you out with your resume, and help you land that first job. And like I was saying earlier, guys, as we give you this experience, we are actually incentivized to help you land that first job. And again, I'll explain to you exactly how that works in just a little bit. We've got companies like Course Report out there, which rated us in 2023 as the best QA testing bootcamp. Again, in 2024, best QA testing bootcamp, quality assurance. And then Career Karma, not Credit Karma, Career Karma rated us as best software testing bootcamp for 2024. Guys, make sure that as we move forward here in the presentation tonight, that you make note of when that starting date is. It's actually going to be August the 10th. August the 10th. I'm sorry about that. We got to replace that right there, but it's August the 10th. That's going to be the start of our next boot camp. Just keep that in mind. It can seem like it's kind of far away, but a lot can happen between now and then. And we'll have some things for you to actually do to prepare ahead of time, prior to that start date. So after your career, after your boot camp, I should say, um, you might go the route of software tester. But then after software tester, you might, as we were alluding to earlier, you might consider software developer type role. You might consider ETL tester. You might consider an API tester or a business analyst, cybersecurity analyst. Could be a PM, project manager. So you start off most likely, not definitely, but most likely as a software tester. But you'll be exposed to a lot of different tools and different career paths, so to speak. And so you'll be able to determine, after your software testing role, if there are going to be some other career paths that you might want to, kind of springboard into. But it generally starts with software testing and then goes from there. All right. Well, guys, here's what I want to do. I want to introduce you to one of the founders of Neotech Academy. His name is Elian. So Elian is going to come on now, and he's going to tell you a little bit more, a little bit about himself, as well as a little more about Neotech Academy and just how we can, how we change lives here. I know it sounds dramatic, but it really is true. And he'll also be interviewing our guest tonight, Sanem. So, want to go ahead and take it away, Elian?
Thank you, Eric, for the introduction. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So my name is Elion Limanai, and I'm one of the co-founders at Neotech Academy, and also I'm the lead instructor here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the course that we teach, the tools that we teach here, and then of course also I'm going to talk about the schedule. And then I'm going to invite Sinem, and she's going to talk about her experience, and you can ask your questions. I'm going to direct your questions to her. And then after that, Ahmet will take it over from there and talk about the next part, the job placement part, and also the pricing. So I was going to talk a little bit about the tools, or let's say the course flow. So what do we teach at Neotech Academy? So in our bootcamp, we teach about testing in general, right? So this is software testing bootcamp. and we talk about testing. So at the beginning, right, we teach about what is manual testing. So manual testing is that part where we do the tests manually with the keyboard and with the mouse. But of course, right, most of the companies now are switching to automation, meaning, right, writing a code and your code will test the software. And then that's why we teach, right, programming language, which is Java. And this is the basement, right? The foundation of our bootcamp. The first 3 months we teach about Java. So if you don't know anything about coding, if you don't know anything about testing, don't worry, because we teach from zero, right? Everything that is needed in this career. So we teach about Java. Java is a very strong programming language. It's very commonly used. And of course, maybe the companies are using other programming languages, but it's not a problem. As long as you know one of them, you can easily learn the others, and the companies can hire you. After we teach Java for 3 months, then we teach automation testing tools. So we teach what is Selenium, what is TestNG, Cucumber. So those tools are used to interact with the browser, to send the commands to the browser, to create reports, right, to run some tests, and to create the reports so that you can show that this part of the software or this module crashed or this page of the software crashed and stuff like that. So you can take screenshots, and everything can be done with those tools. So after we're done with this part, guys, right, you can go to the market and you can look for a job as front-end software testing. So front-end is the part that the users see. So you are able to test the front part of the software. But of course, we don't stop there, because we want you to be exposed to as many job openings as possible. So all these data, let's take any of the softwares that Eric mentioned. Let's take, for example, Bank of America, also Bank of America has an application. And in that application, all the transactions are stored. And then a user goes, logins to the bank account, makes a transaction, I don't know, checks the balance and stuff like that. So all those transactions are stored somewhere, which is called the database. So you as a software tester should know about database, should know about the back part of the software, and should be able to test that back part. So we teach about database and API, how to use them, and then how to test them. And then after you learn all these things, guys, you are considered a back-end, front-end, or also full stack testing, meaning that you are exposed to a lot of job openings. So these are the technical tools that we teach in our bootcamp. But of course, also we teach about, we prepare you for the interviews, because when you're done with the bootcamp, guys, you're going to go to the interviews. You're going to apply for jobs. We're going to teach you also how to apply, where to apply, and everything. And of course, you're going to go to the interviews, and then in the interviews, they're going to ask you questions about the tools that you learned, but also they're going to ask you different types of questions. So that's why we prepare our students for the technical and also soft skills interviews, okay? So also at the end of the bootcamp, we're going to, sorry, I'm rushing a little bit. So at the end of the bootcamp, we're going to teach you how to prepare your resume, how to write. And then when you prepare your resume, we're going to go over it. Our job placement team, they will go over your resume, and then we're going to make sure that you're ready to go to the market and to apply for the jobs. And also, guys, even after you're done with the bootcamp, when you're applying for the jobs, still we're going to be there to help you with some like tips about applications. We have our mentors. They will be there with you to tell you about what you need to, right, what you need to give to the companies. For example, let's say you go to a company, you apply there, and then they're asking you to give them their credit card information, or let's say your green card information, right? Are you supposed to share those information with those companies? So all these things will be answered to you, and all these things, right? We're gonna have somebody to help you with these steps even after you're done with the bootcamp. So these are the tools, guys, and of course, I don't want you to know everything about those right now, but I'm just gonna mention a couple of them. So I talked about Java, which is a programming language. I talked about Selenium, which is a tool which allows you to communicate with the browser. MySQL, which is about backend or database. We have Postman and Rest Assured, which is about API. So all these tools will be taught to you one by one, slowly from zero. And then, right, and then you're going to be able, at the end of the bootcamp, at the end of the 6 months, you're going to be able to answer questions about these tools, to be able to code, to write your code, to be able to write the software, and also, right, and also you're gonna be able to answer those answers in the interview. So if a recruiter or somebody from the company, a technical guy from the company, asks you their questions, you're gonna be able to answer those questions about software testing or these tools in general. So one more time, guys, right? So I'm going to go over these things quickly. So we're going to have a couple of big projects. So during our bootcamp, during the 6 months, guys, you're going to learn tools. We're going to give you homework, but of course, also we're going to give a couple of big projects so that you are so that you are going to prepare, right? You're going to prepare to build the tools, and also you're going to be prepared to answer those questions in the interview, so that you can have the real environment to act the actual how it is done in the real job. Also, guys, right, in the project, the good thing is you can learn how to communicate with other team members, how code is shared with each other, how tasks are shared with each other. All these things will be done during the project. So during the bootcamp, we teach the current methods, strategies, and tools that are in the trend right now. So in this, right, as of right now, guys, we teach those tools. But again, as I mentioned earlier, even if you go to a company, even if they're using other tools, still, guys, you're gonna be able to go to this job, because everybody, guys, they work in a company, they're using some tools, and then they go to another company, they might use similar tools or also new tools. So that's why that's normal for the company to be able to hire you, even if those companies are using other tools. All those materials, all those classes will be recorded, guys. So the class will be online as of right now. Let us suppose that here now we are in a class. All the class will be through Zoom. You can watch them from wherever you are, from your home. And then also the recording will be shared with you after the classes. So all the recordings will be there in a platform in Google Classroom, and you're going to be able to watch all those recordings if you want to watch them or rewatch them later. Or if you, let's say, if you're not able to join a class, you can definitely go to the recordings and you can watch it. By the way, guys, also this info session right now, it will be it is recorded and it will be shared with you. So we're gonna send a link, a YouTube link to you, so that you can watch it later, or probably share it with a friend which is also interested. So we're gonna send an email with a link to you after this info session. So during our bootcamp, also we have our one-on-one training and mentorship program. So we are proud of our mentorship program. So so we have a lot of students who have graduated from the bootcamp, who are working now in the field for, like, I don't know, 5-6 years right now. So they have a lot of experience. So after you learn some of the things there, guys, you're going to be able to be in a group with your mentors. You're going to meet with them, and you're going to be able to ask questions about specific things in a small group settings with your mentors. Also, guys, as I mentioned earlier, right? So not only we are preparing you with the technical skills, also we are preparing you with the soft skills. So we're going to prepare you towards the end, especially how to prepare your resume, how to apply for the job. We're gonna, right, also at the end, guys, we do something we call mock interviews. We interview every student one by one to make sure that they are ready for the market. So one of our instructors, one of our mentors, they will interview you as in real interviews. What is this tool? How have you used this tool in your previous job or in your previous project, right? So you're gonna be able to have a mock interview with a mentor or with an instructor, and you're gonna be able to be ready for the real interviews. So, and again, as I said, we have a lot of alumni that have graduated. They are working in different companies. If there is any job openings in their company, they share it with us. But again, most of our students, they are able to find the jobs themselves. They're able to apply for the jobs. They're able to go to the interviews and to ace the interviews. Also, guys, as I said, with our job placement team, right, or career services, we help our students maximize their compensation. So when they go, sometimes they can get multiple offers. It happens. You got an offer in a company, you got another offer from another company in the same time, because you're applying to a lot of jobs. And if you got multiple offers, which one is better for you, which one you should go with, and how you can maximize those compensations. So I see some questions here. Let me try to see the questions. So you're going to have access, right? You're going to have access to the recordings during the bootcamp, and also for a long time until you find the job, right? You're going to have access to the class recordings also, right? 6 months after the bootcamp. Okay. So we're going to come to those questions later, right? So Ahmet, which is the supervisor of job placement team, he can answer more questions about applying for the jobs. But because now, right, I'm going to talk a little bit about our schedule, and also I'm going to invite our alumni so that she can share her experience with you. So this is the schedule of our classes, guys. So classes are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days during the week from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So 3 hours on Tuesday, 3 hours on Wednesday, 3 hours on Thursday. All these times, guys, are Eastern time. So if you are in a different time zone, make sure that you do your calculation. If you are in California, for example, these hours will be from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you are in Europe, so this info session is not about Europe, but this might be during the morning. So that's why make sure that you know, right, the times for yourself. So during the weekdays, we have 3 days, we have classes, and during the weekends, we have Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So 4 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday. So these are the classes. All of them will be live. So we don't have any pre-recorded classes and shared with you. No, we do the classes live. You can ask questions to the instructor. The instructor, they will explain. If you have any question, they will they will explain it again. And also we have, during the classes, we have assistants. So a couple of technical people who will help you if you have any problems with anything in your code, or if you're writing the example, if you have any problem with your like technical problems, they will help you during the classes and also outside of these classes. So these are the mandatory classes, guys, which are 17 hours per week. So outside of these classes, we're going to give you homework. So you're going to do the homework. So be ready, guys, to spend some more time outside of the classes. Some of you maybe might need to watch the recording again. So you joined the class, you understood everything, but later on you want to watch the recording again so that you understand it even better. So you might want to spend some extra time on top of these classes. Because, guys, the only way for you to learn, I know that we're talking about life-changing experience. We're talking about like you to be able to find a job at the 6 months. But the only way to do it, guys, if you take the boot camp seriously, if you study during the boot camp, and if you do all the work, try to learn, so that at the end of the 6 months, you're going to be at a position where you can find a job, where you can go to the interviews, and hopefully, right, and hopefully you're going to find a job in this market. So I'm going to invite our alumni. So can we please invite Sinem? Yeah.
Hello,
Hi, Sinem. How are you doing?
I'm okay, Alien. How are you? It's been
Good.
a long time.
Yeah, so now you're in a position where you are like working right now. And as I said, please introduce yourself, talk about your experience during the boot camp, after the boot camp when you were looking for a job, and now that you're working as a software tester. And then if they have any questions, I'm gonna direct their questions to you. Okay?
Okay, so my name is Namtok. At first, I started working with a company like 2 weeks ago, I can say, and I started applying jobs on December, and I got like three and a half job offer. We can say half because one of them was in Istanbul. So they were like, "Oh, if you can move here, we can work with you. You know, you already passed, etc." And for my education part, because that's the most question that I'm getting, and I didn't have any IT background, first of all, and I was going to university for accounting major, which is totally different major. And now I am in the IT industry as a quality automation engineer, uh, senior level, which is kind of hard. And yeah, that's pretty much. And do you
Let's
have
make
any questions?
clarification so that they don't understand. So you are in the US market, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So one of the companies, you said it was based in Istanbul, and they also gave you an offer
Yes,
probably for the next.
because that company was very unicorn company, and I want to work with them to get experience. And since they were Turkish as well, like I was like, okay, I can get along with them better and etc. And I applied for that one, and I had some interview steps, and they were like, okay, if you move here because of the time zone, we cannot work with you. But if you move here, we're happy to work with you, and we offer this, this, this. So yeah,
Okay.
that way. Mhm.
So you said that during this time, so you started applying in December, and until let's say a couple of weeks ago, probably you're in going to the interview process and stuff. And how many interviews did you have in total?
Oh, I had a lot because I was applying like 50, 60 jobs in a day whenever I was not doing anything and I was just applying jobs. If I don't have my computer, I was applying easy jobs, like easy apply part of the jobs. And I applied 50, 60 jobs and I had interview like 4 or 5 in a day. I had a lot of interviews, I can say. And after a while, I was like, okay, let me ask you some questions now because I know what you're going to ask me, but I have some questions as well. And after 2 weeks, you get more confident and you start asking questions because you have some criteria as well. And based on my resume, I have some experience and I was looking for something as well. So yeah, that way.
So generally, so that we answer. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions, please ask your questions there and I can direct them to Sinem. But now I'm going to ask some general questions. So generally, Sinem, when you went to the interviews, how many rounds of interviews did you have with one company?
So with one company, the most one had 8 steps.
Eight
And
steps?
yeah, that's crazy, I know. The last step, I went to meet with them to what is called College Station, which is Houston. And until 8th step, so they didn't have any QAs in that company and they were looking for someone who's qualified enough. So I had interview with everyone separately and they had like different type of questions. I had technical questions, I had normal soft skills questions, I had like normal verbal questions, everything. It was 8 steps. I had the most one and the least one was 3 steps. That 3 steps was with QA manager, hiring manager, and a recruiter. So yeah, 3 to 8.
Okay, perfect. And so in the interviews, generally, do they ask you most like technical questions or let's say soft skill questions?
They care about soft skill questions more. How do you react? How do you answer the questions? And how confident you are. And for the coding part, I didn't get so many coding questions, like 4 or 5 maybe total. But they are asking like, how do you use Cucumber? Like, what's your experience with Java coding part, or like why you choose Cucumber or why Selenium? Those kind of questions I got. But they care about soft skills and what do you know about your job.
Okay, perfect. So I see a question here. Is company hire fresher? I don't know what it means. If you can explain a little bit more, I can.
My company doesn't hire fresh fresh starters, entry levels.
Okay.
And I guess it's kind of hard to get in as an entry level. And because I look at the entry levels and they want 2 years of experience at least anyway. So you go in the market with an experience, so they just don't get internship, getting internship harder than getting into market like right away. So no, I
Oh,
was
yeah, I know. Like her question is since she has no experience. So let me answer you. Did you have experience before the bootcamp? Did you have any experience?
no, I was
So
barista before
yeah,
bootcamp.
so during the bootcamp, Deepa, so we teach everything during the bootcamp, and also we by using our project and stuff, so we create that experience. And when you go to the interviews, when they ask you questions about technical questions, everything, so you are able to explain that experience that you got to the companies.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you didn't apply to entry level companies, you applied to the companies that needed like years of experience, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And now that you're working in a company that probably there are other people there in your company working and they have experience. So how do you feel? Do you feel that you really know stuff or do you feel like a fresher in your company? How do you feel as of right now?
I feel like I know stuff because I am the only QA automation engineer right now. The others all manual testers, and I am gonna be the one who's gonna train them. And since bootcamp provide everything, and I know Java, my company use Python. They wanted to use Python since Python is easier than Java. Since Java is easier to learn Python. So they're gonna switch to Python. That's why I'm gonna get Python classes as well, like Java and Python. And also I need to train them since they don't know anything about automation part. I know more than them. So
They've been working for years in that company, and you just joined, and you know more than those people, right?
yes, yes.
That's
And I explain everything to them, like why we should do this or why we need to use behave. Behave is similar to cucumber, so it's very easy to adapt. And I explain everything. I did the presentation. It's my second week, and I feel like I own the company right now. So
yeah. So you just join there, you start training and training
yes.
the employees there. So that is how much you learned during this 6 months, right? So you were at zero level, you didn't even know about testing. At least they know about manual testing, but now you're at a level that you can train people there in the company that have been working there for years. And in what domain is your company? Is it insurance?
It's security.
Security? Okay. And then guys, again, if you have questions, I can direct those questions to Sinem. So while I don't see any questions, I'm going to ask some general questions to her. So are you working remote or are you in the office?
I'm working remotely, yes.
Remotely, fully remote, or like hybrid?
Fully remote.
Oh, okay, good.
Because my company's headquarters in Utah, another state. So yeah, I'm working remotely right now.
Okay, and then so what about when you apply? Did you apply only in your state, or did you apply all around the US? Like when you apply?
All around the US.
So, and then when
Yes.
you got offers, you got from different places?
Yes.
Okay.
And most of them was like I applied jobs in person position, most of them, but I applied remote as well. And as long as they want you, and let's say you apply for a hybrid job or in-person job, as long as they want you, they can switch to remote because they really want you.
Did any of the companies that you applied, let's say they had a on-site position and then they switched to, let's say,
Yeah,
to
this
for you?
this this company was normally hybrid position in Utah. I was like, okay, I cannot move to Utah right now, and I want to work remotely. And they were like, okay, let's see what we can do. Now I work remotely. So
Okay.
yeah, like I say, if they want you, they're gonna make you know,
Okay,
some.
what about if you're working remotely? I don't know. Do they allow you? Did you ask your company if you want to go to Turkey? You said that you probably have your family there. And if you want to work from there, like during the time, do they allow you, or you didn't ask them yet?
They allow me since as long as I do my job and as long as I don't, it's a security company, so as long as I don't share anything or hacking kind of things not happening, I'm okay to go in other countries and everything.
Okay.
It's free.
So we have a question from Rodney. So are mostly remote jobs, do you have to be in their time zone, or you can be in any time zone that you want?
I work in my time zone, which is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Utah also work 9 to 5. But with my time, we have 1 hour differences, but I work with my time 9 to 5 and they work with their time 9 to 5. I have we have someone in New York, he's working 9 to 5 as well. So we don't change the time. It's like 9 to 5 for everyone.
Even as you said, even if you go to Turkey, probably you can have a totally different time zone, but as long
Oh,
as you do the
that
project and stuff, still they would be like okay with it.
that time, if you go to Turkey, the time zone like very huge, like differences. So you have to work with the time with United States time because you have daily stand-ups, you have meetings, and whenever you want to, you are free and you work remotely from Turkey. It's going to be hard because nobody's going to be in the office and you're going to be attend the meetings.
Yeah, so you need to attend the meetings, but probably do the job at a
Oh,
different.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So another question is, which websites did you use to apply for jobs generally?
I use LinkedIn.
Mostly?
Mm-hmm. And I had other job sites as well. I create my profile in other job sites, but I use LinkedIn more. And whenever I talk with QA testers around me or developers who are graduated from bootcamp, they were like, "Oh, LinkedIn is important." And before I start applying jobs, I connect with the QAs, like 500 plus connections I made, and when they look at your profile, they're like, Oh, okay, she knows QA people. And then after placement team helped us and everything, like resume and mock interview all done, I started adding recruiters. And then you can get free trial for LinkedIn. When you get it, you can text some, connections of yours. And I was texting recruiters, hey, I'm on the market right now. This is my resume address. So I made some friends who are recruiter, and they helped me to get in the market as well.
Okay, and also you also used other
Yes, but not as much as
so
LinkedIn.
mostly LinkedIn helped you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so also guys, by the way, so that you know, so you can also use other websites like
Mhm.
Glassdoor, like ZipRecruiter, whatever, like
Right. Yeah.
other websites.
Mhm.
So Daphne, she's saying, congratulations, from in 6 months you learn everything and you're able to apply for senior jobs, and you're also without having a prior experience. And you said that your prior, let's say, uh, background was you were in economics, right?
No, I was accountant. I was going to university for
Accountant.
accounting, but I was working as a barista at Starbucks. So
Good. So are you satisfied with the salary as of right now? So I don't know if you can say a range. What is your salary and what are the benefits probably in your company?
So I'm getting six figures, like three digits of salary. Right now, my benefits is all medical, like vision, dental, or health. They have life insurance, they have 401k, they provide everything like lunch, dinner, breakfast, as long as you are between like in the time that you work. And they also provide your flight tickets, and they have so many discounts. Like I can access the websites they have, and they have some discounts. For example, I got a car last week, and I got a discount from that company as well while
Oh,
I'm getting the car.
so your company has
So
a lot of deals with other companies.
yes, yes,
Good.
which
So
is
you have a
very
lot of benefits. It looks like you have a lot of benefits.
cool.
And also, and let's say, what about the other offers that you got? Where is it the same range or was this one the best?
This one was the best. I was looking for three digit. The others was like 92, 97, 95 kind of a range. And I was like, oh, no, I want three digit. And so I
When
was
you
like,
say three digits, you mean 100K, right?
yes,
100,000
100 and plus.
a
And
year.
yeah, and I found it.
And what about the others? Were they remote or were they like hybrid or on site? How were the other jobs that they gave you an offer?
The others, the two of them was remote, one of them was in person.
Okay. And and of course, what about those? Were they like full time or were they contract based? How was the other companies?
Just one of them was contract, the others was full time. Right now, I work as a full time as well.
Okay. And did you suggest to other students those refer to those jobs or you didn't do it? So when you
And
don't accept one of the jobs, you can say, you know what, I am not able to get this job, but I have other friends that I work together, and then you can refer
I
them.
mean, I gave to like information of the people that I want to suggest them. And one of the person that I know from bootcamp lives in London, so I suggest them as well. Like, hey, if you have like this kind of opportunity, she is really good at what she's doing at Trusa. And I don't know if they called them, but yes,
Yeah.
I refer them.
So yeah, that's good. Yeah, so some of people they call it six figures, some of them six digits, 100K. And so it's like so to make sure because there's a different terminology.
Mhm.
So it's like 100,000 a year, but of course we're talking about U.S. market. So if
Yes.
people are in different places, right? So the salaries in those countries might be different. So we're talking about people who are located in United States.
Mhm. And
Okay.
Turkey one also offering really good
So
salary.
that company was US based company, but they were in Turkey, or it was a
No, it's all fully like Turkish company. The president also Turkish, and they are unicorn, but they work with so many companies as well. And they headquarter in Turkey, and they offer really good if you live in Istanbul or in Turkey. or close to Turkey. Like
So
2 hours difference, really good for them as
that
well.
was your first offer. That's why you were considering of probably moving to Turkey if you don't get other offers, or?
No, that was not my first one, but like I said, they were Turkish and I could get communicate better. And it's a it was a company that I follow as well, and I was watching podcasts and everything. So I was like, let me apply for that one, and I got interviews, and I was like, I was so excited, and I talked with CEO, CTO. I had interview with them, and yeah, I just liked them and I applied them. That was not my first one, but yeah.
That's good. So, what about during the boot camp? What was the most challenging part during the boot camp when you started? So, was it Java? Was it which part of the boot camp was?
Um, First, let me think, because
Ah, you forgot. Now you are a senior and you
no,
forgot from the past.
no, the thing is, I was enjoying so much, so that was not challenging for me. But I will say, at first, I was not able to explain myself or tell me about yourself part kind of hard for me. And that part was challenging, but other type of sections like learning Java or Selenium or those kind of things was not challenging for me because we had live session, we had recordings, we had assistant channels, so it was very helpful and you can get help anytime you want. So it was not challenging for me.
What about, did you had plenty of time? Like, say, were you working when you were during the boot camp, or you're like available all the time to
I
study?
was available, yes,
That's
because I quit. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus this course, and I study like whenever I have time, like
So you
whenever
took
I'm
it
free.
seriously and you make sure to dedicate yourself fully
Yes.
to the boot camp.
Mhm.
Yeah, I sometimes I remember you also are trying to help other students. I remember like,
Yeah.
sometimes there's a question, and even before the assistants are answering, you're trying to help
Mhm.
the friends. That's a good. And then what about in which group you're team B, like with Neslihan, I think.
Yes, that's correct. And Neslan also helped us a lot. She shared with us her experience, like real-time scenarios. We were like, okay, if they ask you this kind of question, if they ask us this kind of questions, how would you answer? And she helped us a lot. And whenever I had question like, oh, in interview, I couldn't answer this question. Can you help me? And she helped me. Yeah, it was very helpful, the mentor sessions.
Yes, she always tries to make sure that she keeps together her group, and yeah, she's a very good mentor. She's one of the best, let's say.
Mhm.
I hope that the others don't hear the. Okay, everybody. So, do you have any other questions for Sinem? So, if you have any questions, guys, we can direct your questions to Sinem. Uh, so it looks like there are no more questions. Okay. So another one. She says she seems pleasant, personable, and you'd also be a great mentor probably in the future. Oh, she suggests.
Why not?
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, Daphne, for your suggestion. So yeah, I don't want to take more of your time. You've been here waiting and answering like all the questions, and thank you very much for joining. And again, if we need you in the future, we're gonna ask again probably to join in the future. Okay?
Anytime you want. And thank you for inviting me. Take care.
Thank you, Sinem. Bye bye. So Ahmet, if you can take it from there.
With pleasure. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Sinem. She was amazing. Thank you, Sinem, for coming here and sharing your experience. Let me start by sharing my screen. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce myself. So my name is Ahmet. I'm one of the instructors here at Neotech Academy, and I am a senior software tester. So I would like to talk about the process that you will be getting after you complete our program. Obviously, I just wanted to quickly recap of what we've covered so far. So how you will learn throughout the program is the live classes. You will have individual projects, office hours, homeworks, tasks, quizzes, my favorite. You will have coding challenges, and this is something that I'm really proud of. Like we put you through these automated coding challenges, and you will learn a lot about coding. You will have the final assessment, which is the mock interviews that we're talking about, really important. We will have weekly review classes. And really important thing is the group project right here. So you will have a group project where you get to simulate a real work environment, with a cross team, with like how to work with, people from all over the world. That's what happens in the real work. I have like in my company, we have a team in Mexico, we have a team in Romania, but we keep working with them, and this is how it works. And we're gonna have mentor sessions, just like our mentors. I mean, Sinem definitely a great candidate here, but like we have seasoned software testers who's working in this field in different domains, and they will be the mentors for you. Okay, so what happens after you learn? Okay, what's the end goal here? The end goal is for you to place in a high-paying IT job. Okay, so this is really, really important. So we want you to find that job because this program is designed that way. If you are here to just learn Java and you don't really care about anything else, or like you're just wondering about the software testing, maybe this is not the best place for you. But if you're looking forward to change your career to a high paying, again, six figures, even more job, this is the right place for you. Just a quick note, we will be here to answer your questions. And after my presentation, we'll talk about the numbers. So please don't go anywhere. So how does the job placement happen, and what is it that we provide to you here in this process? So again, mock interviews is the first step, the last step of the program, the first step of the job placement. We will help you to build your resume. We will be giving you an extensive knowledge about the market and how to apply jobs, and not just how to apply, but also when to apply, where to apply, how to talk to the recruiters, and everything. Throughout the program, you will be getting really a lot of soft skill enhancements. So what does that mean? You will be learning the corporate lingo. You will be learning all the jargon about the software testing. On top of that, you will be learning all the tools and what is it that or how they're used in the real work environment. Okay, so this is really important. You will have access to your mentors. So you will have one-on-one mentoring. And another amazing thing, just like Ilion asked, like Sinem is finding a job, and guess who is she calling if there's another position available? Us. So alumni network is really important. And my last but not least, my favorite, salary negotiation. If you have more than one offer, we'll be guiding you on how to get the best out of those offers. So this is really, really crucial. So this is a Glassdoor search. You can do it yourself. Software development engineering test. There are many titles. This is the average. Obviously, you can do your own research, and this can like fluctuate. This can go up or down. Regardless, I would like to show you guys how does the market look with our real offer letters. So I'm switching here. Actually, this is way down. This is one of them, 115. I'm gonna go with the time. This was one of the last ones that we received, March 1382. Not so, I mean, not as expected, as high as expected, but not so bad. February 13, 106. You see, not bad at all. This one is 90. I guess, yeah, this is definitely a 90. We have 95 with a $5,000 bonus. And we have, let's see, 52, which is over 100K annually. So let's see this guy right here. We have 90, another 90, plus $10,000 bonus, so makes it 100. We have different titles, as you can see, but this is how how does it look, how it looks, with the offer letters. Let me see. Yeah, this is a base pay. This is actually one of the international offers. That's what I was going for. This is 104 Swiss franc. So it's really, really good. We have many, many of them. You can obviously you will be getting one of them, and we'll be happily guiding you on how to get the best offers out of how to get the best of the offers from those offer letters that you receive. Okay, so let me go back. These are some of the companies that our alumni is actively working for. You would be definitely one of them. Would be like joining as a workforce for AWS, for eBay, for Cognizant, for PNC, and your existing background is definitely is going to play a major role, but you don't really need to have anything about IT as long as you know how to open a computer, and again you're inclined to do some stuff about it, like uh using a word, or like you know how to use a computer. You should be good because we start from the basics. I'm gonna leave the microphone back to Eric, and he's gonna talk about the fun stuff, all the deals and all the promotions we have. Eric.
All right. Thanks so much, Ahmet. Great job there. Yeah, so guys, if you could just give me a little bit of feedback here. Do you see my screen in front of you? Does it say average cost of education, average cost of IT education? Just want to make sure you can see that. All right, good deal. Well, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you know someone who got a degree and they aren't even working in that field? I have family that, spent tens of thousands of dollars to obtain degrees, and they aren't actually working in the field that they were studying, all those years. So take a look at your screen. It says up here $36,000 a year for, per year for a 4-year school. So let's say you don't get a grant, you don't get a scholarship, anything like that, and you're just out of pocket, $36,000 per year. That's what, 140 some thousand dollars, for a 4-year degree. If it's a private university, I think a lot of you know this, if you have kids especially, or maybe you went to a private university yourself, and maybe, your kids are getting to that age where you're starting to look for universities for them. Private education, private universities can be easily 50, 60, 70 plus thousand dollars per year. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? So after 100 plus thousand, $200,000 studying, does the university even have any incentive to help you land that first job? They really don't. There's no obligation on their part to do that. Other boot camps, which you can research yourself, guys, the averages out to well over $13,000 to get involved with a boot camp that will teach you, how to, get started in your career in IT. So we look at it this way. We have a very unique process which allows more people to get involved in the IT industry, which I'm going to go through with you right now. So rather than it being, $13,000, 13 plus thousand dollars out of pocket, before you've even learned anything, here's how we like to do it instead. So our regular tuition comes out to 5,249, $5,249. Now, what we're doing that is really special tonight, because we haven't done this before, we call this our super early bird discount, guys. Our super early bird discount. That is $500 off. That brings the total down to 4749. But here's the thing, check this out. That is paid in 7 monthly installments of 678. So don't worry about the whole thing being up front. And there's a money back guarantee. You can even cancel, 30 days into this, which I'll show you in just a second. But rather than $13,500 before you've even gotten started, 7 monthly installments, 678. Now, the reason our tuition is so low is we offer a risk-free placement fee. Okay, so this here's how this is worked. Just like Amit was talking about, we help you in this process to land that first job. So here's how the placement fee works. It's not your entire first year salary or anything like that. No, it's 85% of your first month's salary after you find a job, which we're going to help you find. And so you don't pay this if you can't find a job. And even that is paid in 4 monthly installments. So don't worry about, your entire first month's pay or your entire first year. No, no, no. It's 85% of just your first month's salary after you find a job. And guys, look at it this way. I always like to point this out. Rather than being on opposite sides of the table, so to speak, we're now on the same side of the table. We're over here with you because think about it. We're now incentivized to help you land that first job. I mean, we want it to be as good of a job as possible, 100 plus thousand dollars a year. And again, you don't pay it all up front, that placement fee. It helps keep our costs, or your cost down for your tuition, 85% of your first month's salary after you find a job, and that's paid in 4 monthly installments. So you really can't beat it. When you're referred by a Neotech student or alumni, there's another discount on top of that. So just let us know if somebody referred to you. We'll give you another discount. We also encourage people to sign up in groups. So you see our tuition just keeps coming down. It keeps getting lower and lower. Groups of 2, each student gets $150 off. Groups of 3, each student gets $200 off. If you're signing up in a group of 4 or more, reach out to us and we'll work something out with you to give it an even better deal than the 200 off. Now, why do we do this? Why do we encourage people to sign up in groups? Well, you can encourage each other. Sanam did a great job there of, talking about her experience and this alumni network which exists. And so, after graduation, you can refer each other, just like she has done, to other job opportunities. Now, while you're in the boot camp, though, you can, do homework together. You can help solve problems together. Again, it's kind of like going to the gym with your buddy. You're encouraging each other and, making sure each of you stays on the right track. So here's a big question that people have. What if I change my mind later? Well, there's no deposit, there's no application fee, and you don't pay anything until the boot camp actually kicks off. You can cancel for free at anytime until the boot camp actually starts. And there's a 30-day money back guarantee, 100% refund if you decide to leave until you complete your first month. You can't go wrong, guys. Money back guarantee, 100% refund if you decide to leave anytime, 30 days after the boot camp has begun. And I encourage you, take advantage of it now while you can, because that big discount that we call the super early bird discount, that's not going to be around forever. We're going to do that for the next few days. So if this is something that you really want to do, reach out to us. Let us know that you're interested, that you might even want to move forward. Maybe some of you have some questions you want to ask, but take advantage of that extra $500 off, because again, we haven't offered that before. Book a call with our admissions team. Go to neotech.live/call. Not ready to call yet? You can just submit your interest. Go to neotechacademy.com/apply. But secure your spot now, guys. Take advantage of it. One of the biggest problems that people have, and we've all been guilty of it at some point, is procrastination. I always like to point out a buddy of mine, he was telling me for years, he was going to read War and Peace. And just as a joke, I would follow up with him on that and go, so what chapter are you on? He'd be like, oh, I'm chapter 2, 3 years into it. So we're still kind of in that new year, we're not into really the meat of the year yet. If you've made a resolution that this is going to be the year that I'm going to make a change, I'm going to do something different this year, 2025 is going to be it. Think about where you are now and imagine where you could be at the end of this boot camp 6 months after it's over. It starts on August the 10th. We do have some things for you to do prior to the boot camp. Take advantage of that big $500 discount. We're going to help you land a job afterwards. We'll do everything we can to get that career started for you. If you do have questions for us after our presentation tonight, just email us, team@neotechacademy.com. Again, you can schedule a phone call, like I was saying earlier, neotech.live/call, or call us directly at 929-566-3919. I'm not going to go through all of these guys, but why join Neotech Academy? Let's say you're just, in the interest of time, we'll run through a few of these. Let's compare doing it with us compared to, self-taught or going to university, which can be very, very expensive, going to university, as we just saw a moment ago, or just, some online courses. Well, let's start with the time element. We are very structured. Everything is market driven as far as the learning content goes, but we don't have fluff. We're not just throwing stuff in there so we can say, oh, it's a 6-month course. No, our boot camp was created by folks who are in the industry. They're doing it right now, so they know what they need to teach you. They know what you need to learn to be able to land that first job. So self-taught, though, who knows how long it's going to take you. With us, it's 6 months. University, man, you're looking at 4 years. Online courses are going to be self-paced. If you're self-taught, well, you are the expert then. You're saying that you're the expert because you're going to teach yourself. Plus, you won't really know what to teach yourself. By the time you learn something, maybe the market has shifted and what you just learned isn't even relevant anymore. So we're going to teach you things that are relevant. University, it's not very interactive as far as the learning process goes. Online courses are not supervised. Ours, everything is hands-on, live with real traders. You're learning from industry expert trainers with us, University, you might be, you might not be. I took business courses at university. I don't recall any of my professors having ever started a business. And a lot of them worked in education, their whole adult life, but they're teaching business courses. So not to bash that, I'm just simply saying that here we are, industry expert trainers at Neotech Academy. They know exactly what to teach you because they're doing it right now. Career services, all of these things over here are self-taught. It's just going to be a negative. Learning content is totally up to you. Again, ours is market driven. University, yes, can be very theoretical. Online courses, it depends as far as the learning content goes. It might be relevant. It might not. The community, you can't beat us as far as what we can offer you. The alumni network, the mentorship, the technical support, it's all here. So we're not leaving any stone unturned. We make it affordable. You're not having to put everything up front, $13,000 or anything like that. We make it very, very affordable for everyone. And then once you go through the process, we do everything we can to help you land that first job. I hope you're seeing this, guys, that we're passionate about what it is that we do, and we are motivated in helping our students. Our program with hundreds and hundreds of alumni around the world is proven. It's tested and proven. It's hands-on. There's a collaborative environment, constantly working on our guidelines to make sure our students are open or have access to the best jobs in the market. They're trained to take advantage of those best jobs in the market. And again, we're here to help you build your career from the ground up. So just like Ahmet was saying, and I was, we've mentioned it before, that if you're not really serious about it, guys, it's probably not the place for you. But if you really want to make a change and you're serious about doing it, and you want the flexibility that, in a career path that can offer that flexibility and get paid what you deserve, then take advantage of it tonight. We're offering that super, super enormous discount, super early bird discount, $500 extra off. Take advantage of it, guys. Elion and Matt, they're coming back on now. So if you guys have any other questions, please let us know in the chat.
All right, I'm seeing lots of great questions. Thank you so much, Eric. So one thing I'm sure everyone's going to explain is the pricing. So let's go over that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so let's go one more time over the pricing. So as you know, our tuition is $5,249, but if you sign these days, right, so you're gonna have a $500 off discount. So the tuition will be $4,749, and this will be paid in with installments, meaning right in 7 months installments. So you don't have to pay to pay any interest. Also, one of the things, guys, is that since the bootcamp will start on August 10, from now until August 10, you don't need to pay anything. So that's very important. So we just want you to sign right now so that you reserve your spot, and we can make sure that we know the numbers and everything. And your payment will start on August 10th. Okay, so that is the tuition for the bootcamp. So after you find the job, guys, right? So of course we're gonna help you with the interviews. We're gonna help you with all the process. After you find the job, we kindly request you 85% of your first month's salary. So for your first month, let us suppose that your salary is 100K a year. So 1 month is about $8,000. So 85% of it will be, let's say, 7,500, whatever, something like that. So you can do the calculations, and that will be paid. And this one also will not be paid upfront. This also will be paid with installments. So you find the job, you settle down, and then you start paying with 4 installments also, that only the 85% of the first month's salary. So that is about the tuition of the program. Also, one more important thing, guys, is of course you're gonna get extra discounts if you are referred by a Neotech student, or if you are joining with other people. So if you are together with other people, then you also get extra discounts. But what is most important, guys, is that from now until August, guys, you're not gonna pay anything. You make the contract now, you sign the contract now, and you start the payments on August 10th. So on August 10th, our program starts, and during first month, guys, you can join the program. But if you decide to cancel within the 30 days. So let's say the last week of the bootcamp, last week of the first month, we say, are you good? Do you like it? Do you want to continue or not? If you want to continue, then we continue with second payment. If not, guys, we refund you the first payment. So for a month, you have that opportunity to have a look for yourself, to I don't know, like to test it for yourself to see if it works for you or not. That is very important.
Thank you, Leon. I'm seeing some questions from Deepa and Daphne. I'm going to be answering them. So Deepa asked about, is there, like, after finishing the course, can I get 100%? The job is guaranteed or not? So the job is not obviously guaranteed because there are a lot of factors that we cannot control. And I can assure you on this, if anybody's assuring you a job, guaranteeing a job, they're definitely not telling the truth. That's not how it works. But what we do here is that, again, our success rate is obviously there. You will be having this amazing knowledge, and also, like, we will have the support, and there is no time limit on that. So your placement support will continue even after you complete the program. Let's say that you want to take a break for 6 months and you want to come back, we'll still be there to help you out. That's one thing. So I'm seeing Daphne's question about, she first asked about the Jira, Agile, and Scrum methodologies, and if it's covered within the class. Yes, it is. So you will be seeing that a lot. And this is actually a good point. And you can easily obtain a Scrum Master certificate out of this program, so that can help you to become one too. But obviously, being a QA, to me, it's kind of easier, and like maybe on a higher scale. But obviously, if you have the more like business skills, you can be a business analyst or the project manager and so on. And I'm also saying that Daphne is torn apart between the cybersecurity and the QA engineer. So this was actually a question of mine too when I first started, and we even had a program, right, Leon? Like our program was cybersecurity. The reason that we didn't continue because I don't want to speak ill about any other program, but realistically, if you even go online right now, there are like so less jobs available for cybersecurity compared to software testing. Even in my company, I can give you an example. So my company has like over 40 different QAs, but only 3 cybersecurity analysts. So you do the calculation, and that's like the number, the average number that almost all companies have. So that's why this is a good starting point, and then you can even switch to cybersecurity by just getting the necessary stuff. That can be your next step too if you are torn apart. But yeah, overall, that's how it goes.
Yeah. So to answer your questions here, we talk about SQL. Yes, that's covered in our course, and also Jira, and also the Scrum methodologies. So again, just to mention about IT is very broad, guys. So this is an easy step to start a career in IT. So there are a lot of job openings in software testing. It's easy to learn compared to other, let's say, more complicated, like software developer, or let's say database architect or DevOps. But after you learn about software testing, then you can definitely, after you learn about software testing, you can definitely switch to other careers in IT. You can learn tools easily, with just like some, I don't know, another small bootcamp, or just like probably also with online classes. So our bootcamp will start on August 10th. And then next one, we don't know, probably it will be around November, December. So we don't have an exact date, but we're going to start another program like in I don't know, 4 or 5 months after the August 10th. Yeah.
Yeah, we try to prioritize our existing bootcamps, and like we decide the next one later. But obviously, you can still join to this one and see for yourself and take advantage of the 30-day refund policy and come again, Deepa.
And one of the things that I would also ask you guys, if you're thinking about starting on August 10th, I would strongly recommend you to start working on it. So we have some free materials we can share with you. Just go to our website, and then you can also talk to our give a call, or I don't know, send an email, and we can share those materials with you so that you can prepare for the bootcamp, even so then when it starts, it will be easier for you. So that's another way to prepare for it. We have some free material that we can share with you. Okay. So if we don't have any other questions, I think we can wrap it up. So thank you, Eric, for your explanations. Thank you, Ahmet. And hopefully we're going to see you in classes in August, guys.
Thank you all. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you at classes.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Take care.
Good night.